Last week we talked, I don't remember the title, but it was a little bit about that knowingness of God. And so think about this. I've said this many times. We have upper three chakras, that's the presence of God. We have lower three chakras, that's our humanness. Upper chakras, God. Lower three, humanness, which is your body, your emotions, and your lower mind, intellectual mind. That's the humanness. 2 trinities. But there's one extra chakra we haven't gotten to, right? Which one? The heart. The heart is the one that sits between them. The heart is the one being spoken to when it says, choose whom ye will serve. God or manna, reality or illusion, love or fear. Now, some of us go, it's a little bit religious to say, oh, lower chakras, even if we're spiritual New Age kind of people. People have this feeling of, oh man, get out of the lower chakras, yogis even. Oh, that's of the lower chakras. Try not to eat. Definitely don't be intimate. Get away from the body. They're shaming it. When you shame it, it's unreconciled, it's unhealed, and then you have to still come back to deal with it. You don't shame it. You don't shame something to get away from it. And this whole concept of shaming, which I won't go into, we've done talks just on that, but is one thing that really messes with the human psyche, the human consciousness. Because people are so black and white, which is what dysfunctional people do. They go real black and white. Everything has to be extreme so that there's no peace. So extreme, I don't know what to do. There's 2 extreme decisions and 2 extreme. No, stop. Where's the feeling of love? Where's the feeling of God? So, yeah, but it's my humanness. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Therefore, the flesh is bad. Therefore, we should... No, stop. The only thing that's not happening properly is you're not allowing that which is holy to shine all the way down to the human self. That's all you got to do. You don't extract the human self like some strange surgery and deny it. And I don't care how mystical you think you are. Denying it. Oh, I don't do sex and I don't have food or whatever. What part of you is not having it? The human part. You just acknowledged you have a human part. How is it that starving it or cutting off its air supply is helping you become spiritual? You think because you cut off your air supply and you don't eat and you die, you think you're ascending? No. You're going to the other side where they're all laughing at you, by the way. And then they just say, oh, you're one of those. Hey, look, a mystic. They didn't eat. We are going to send you in with an intense eating disorder. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to be watching. That's all that happens, man. You don't deny something because if you're denying it, there's an it. You have to love the hell out of everything. You have to love your judgments out of them. And the easiest way is, I don't even know. God, you show me. You can be having the most, intimate experience and say, you know what? I'm having this pleasurable thing with somebody. God, show me how to see them and show me how to see this experience. You can be drinking and ask, God, I don't understand what this is for. I do this compulsively, eating compulsively, yelling at people compulsively. This isn't your will. Am I going to shame it? Not at all. I'm just going to say, here it is. Let me see it from a higher perspective. And the mind will start getting reprogrammed. And when it does, it'll start letting some things go just very organically. It's not organic when you force yourself to not do things to prove you're spiritual or to become better as a person. That would imply that you're not a good person. And you think that not doing such and such would make you holy. As soon as you do that, you're forgetting you're already holy, and you're thinking that something down there, fixing the human self, is going to create a holiness. You've got it all backwards. This is your holiness, and it is present within all of us. But how do I get it to be down there? Well, I can't because it keeps distracting me. Then why don't you bring more of this, the divine, down into the human? Easiest way? Ask. That's what the mother's for, the Holy Spirit of God. Shine your light. God, here I am. I'm still struggling with weight or looks or aging or relationship, and you're going to on the planet until they're healed. How to heal them? Uproot, cry, vomit, and do whatever you have to do to get this stuff out in an honest way. But when you empty the cup, refill the cup with the presence of love, the presence of light. How? Do I fix it? Yeah, toning and prayer, meditation. But what greater technique than to ask for the Spirit of God to pour itself to us? So I've always taught this concept of instead of which chakra do I want to not have? Boy, I wish I didn't have a root chakra. Thanks for sharing, but you do have one. No, I'm going to prove it. Oh man, I'm really sorry for you. You're going to be suffering. Not if I deny my humanness. Yes, that's called hell. What is hell? A place of judgment? You're already judging your humanness, so you're already the devil in yourself, casting parts of yourself into the pit, into the fire. Oh, I don't like that, I was trying to be spiritual and I ended up being Satan of myself in my own little world of hell. So what are you going to do instead? You know what? Be the devil that says, I believe in God again. I don't need to judge myself. I don't need to confirm that I'm bad and I need repair. I'm going to instead surrender to that which God is, not even knowing how to fix myself. I don't need to know how to fix myself. I got myself into this mess. Why would I trust that guide? Right? No, I got it. I can figure out what I really need. Really? You can't even overcome compulsions. Right? You have to bite your tongue every time you're around certain people. You can't even look at somebody that wears clothes that you don't think match without seeing it and noticing it and having some weird response to it. It's like at churches. At churches, people are like, do you see what she's wearing? If you can't get it right in a spiritual center, you're probably not getting it right at home or watching TV or the news or whatever else. Again, I know that's all a lot of intense stuff, and it's like, stop. The will of God. So picture this. Instead of me trying to fix all this, picture, I don't know. I do know God, that there's a God. I know that there's love and God. Okay, heaven. But what if that's right here within you? Okay, I'll go with that. Then I'm going to invite that presence. Instead of, I'm going to go to God by denying myself, I'm going to ask God to enter all parts of my being. So my prayer, my intention is to ask God to enter my heart, mind, emotions, and body. I'm asking for the light of God to shine so thoroughly, there's no room that isn't illuminated. If you ever do a house blessing, you'll know that one of the techniques for house blessing is you open all the cupboards because energies will actually try to hide from the light. They can go in cupboards. They can go in drawers. So the symbolism is open it up. Let the light shine in and through all parts of your being. No shames to it. Here I am, God. And it's the same. Drawers, and same with me. Compartments within my being. Shine it to the basement of my pelvis, to the attic of my heart and soul. All parts of my being. No cupboards. Get in the garage. Open the trunk of the car. The glove compartment. Don't become obsessive and paranoid about it. Oh, I forgot the toolbox. My makeup case, is now evil. It'll age me. Relax. Just general intention in all parts of my being. If you have a pool and there's or a pump outside and you have one of those little pump houses, open the doors. Why not? Just open it. Just, here I am. It's so refreshing. I have no secrets. No things I would hide from God. So, in a sense, there's knowing God is here. There's a part of us that does know. And I'm talking know. Knowing not intellectually. I'm talking about there is a spiritual certainty called the knowing of God. And that is found right here. There's another part of us called believing in God. Why do I say believing? How's believing different from knowing? Aren't they the same? No. You know what? Because believing means there's an option. You get what I just said there? I know, well, I kind of believe. See, there's a difference. In my God self, there's a knowing, and it can never change. I can think that I forget, but it can never change. The divine in me can never not be divine. Then why does it feel like it? Because I'm not here. I'm somewhere else in my being. See, the ego makes it so evident. Guys, come on. You know there's no God. Look around you. There's problems and challenges and war and whatever. But it's using the senses of the body as evidence. So just say, well, wait a minute. If I keep using the insane part of myself to prove insane things, that's probably what I'll prove. Let me just go back to the knowing of God. Even if I have doubts, in God I can't. But if I have, I really believe, what that means is I'm here in my soul. Not a bad place to be compared to some other parts of my being. But I want my beliefs to become a knowing. And eventually I want my human experience to be an absolute experience of a knowingness. And that's heaven on earth. I know that God is. I kind of believe, I'm not so sure. That's the average human experience. You see, even people that don't believe in God, it's still, this part can't be touched. They just went off here. They just went off track here. They went from a knowing, and I'm saying that the worst of all human beings has the spark of divinity that can't forget. It's a perfect knowingness. And that's really beautiful. That's why when you see someone sick and you affirm their goodness, their health, when you know that you're struggling with somebody that's kind of mean, you're asking for their angels to expose their light to you and to others. What you're really saying is that I want the truth. When you're praying for somebody to be healed, you're not asking as you think you might be. Most people are just down in the believing or the humanness. The humanness says, oh man, you're messed up. I don't think there's any cure for you. A higher person says, I kind of believe there's hope for you. And a knowingness is, there's no other option. That's why when you use affirmation, you're trying to access this part that says, bam, no other option. And you can even be a fundamental kind of Christian or fundamental teacher or whatever. And if you can just access a higher belief, even if you're all humanly screwed up, if you can access a little bit of more belief than usual, and ultimately a knowingness would be great, you're going to be successful. My human father was a nutcase. And a very cruel, sexist, racist, mean person. But people consistently called him, would you do your prayer? How ironic is that? This nut is doing healing prayers. They would call him. They would be suffering from a certain problem. And he would go and do this ritual in the kitchen. He would go and they would call, it's gone. How could that be? Because your humanness can be that screwed up. So when I say he's screwed up, I'm not trying to affirm that that's his total identity. I'm driving home a point. You can be totally humanly messed up and still force yourself, make yourself, find yourself in yourself beliefs in something else. He was able to do that. He was able to override the humanness and have a moment of faith in his beliefs. How much there was a knowingness, that's between him and God. But the fact that he could pull it through into a ritual, it was clear there has to be some amount of belief. Is that making sense? And the humanness can be messed up, but ultimately you want as above, so below. As within, so without. You don't want these inconsistencies. So don't judge yourself for the inconsistencies, but ask yourself what you can do to improve it to where when you see me, you see the Father, is what Jesus said. See, he's not like, well, I'm a little uncertain and my humanness is all twisted. He's saying, not only do I know, my believing is also a knowing, my experience is also a knowing. And that's the truth of God, capital T. The truth that God is and is only love, peace, joy, abundance. And I'm made in God's image. Boom! Now there's a knowing. I'm starting to get the knowing again. That's really good. Why do we have beliefs that take that beautiful pouring, here it comes, and then dams. See, now if this flow of God into my experience starts getting dammed up, which is a funny word for it, damn me, my experience is going to be hellacious. So this pouring of light, dam. What are the dams? Judgments, unhealed wounds, resentments. That's what they are. So all this work, you guys, we've all done, a prayer workshop, a forgiveness process, or whatever it is. When you tried to do work at a deeper level, you always succeeded. And I'm sorry that there's more than one. So you went and did some healing and you went, well, but I still have some challenges. You know, I know that messes with you because you thought, well, you know, one breathwork seminar, I should be holy. But all you did was loosen up one block, one dam. And maybe a lot of it, maybe all of that one. But there are some others. Lifetimes of building a veil between reality and illusion. But all of that's in our heart, in our beliefs. That's why it's strange because people talk, oh, the heart chakra, love. And yet you have Jesus saying, evil is in the heart. Man, I don't like that guy's teachings. I like heart chakra teachings. And Jesus says evil is in the heart. Why? Because it's here that you start to doubt the perfect holiness. It is not here you doubt it. Is that clear? The humanness can't doubt it. The human is called the experience. Knowing, believing, experiencing. The outcome, the physical, emotional self is just an outcome. It's an effect of what? What I chose here not to know any longer. My holiness and yours, which is called what? Judgment. I forgot your holiness or mine, and I started, passing a little judgment, whether it was conscious or unconscious. Where did that take place? Down there in my little toe? No, it happened here in my heart. Whether I was conscious of it or not, I went off a little bit. Forgiveness uproots these things. Healing work of a soul level removes these things. And you don't just talk about what you're removing, you replace it with something new. I want my beliefs to go to the next level. I don't want to just not have a once upon a time negative belief. I want a new belief that mirrors knowingness. So uproot the misbeliefs and plant in the righteous beliefs that God is and I am. God is, I am. What's next? We are, which is down here. We, the cells of my body, my organs, my glands, but also all of you. Because all of you are a projection of I know, I believe, I experience, and you are part of my experience. So if I don't like my relations out here, something's off in my beliefs. People can't be trusted. Let's prove it. There you are. Jerk number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then here's what humans do. It's because of these jerks that I'm hurting. No, your hurts manifested the jerks. This flows this way. The outside world cannot, I'm saying literally, it cannot affect this, but it also really can't do much here. It can seem like it does, only because of this. God is, and then I forget in my beliefs, I'm starting to hurt. I have some hurts and unhealed wounds. Now in my life, people are hurtful. You know what's going to happen? It's going to back up on me and reconfirm my beliefs. You can't cause my beliefs, but you can sure trigger me. And I can choose to make those new beliefs of more hurts. You see, all you are is an opportunity for me to heal what's in my heart and soul. Well, then why isn't my life more perfect? And here you go again, the imperfect perfectionist. Relax. Find your perfect holiness. These people, and it shouldn't have been them, so, okay, I got it. I forgive everybody. I'm the jerk. That's not helping. Michael's saying they're projections, so I'm the one that's messed up. That's not helping. Forgive yourself too. Forgive others and forgive yourself. When I forgive others in the outer experience, then I learn to forgive myself in my beliefs. I will then return to the knowing that there's nothing to forgive. Not there's nothing left to forgive because I've healed it all. That's partly true. When you really get to the knowingness, In my holiness, how could you ever have done anything to me? In your holiness, how could you have ever done it? We just danced a dance because our misbeliefs became manifested. All it is a hologram. Once upon a time I was holy, then I forgot I was holy and went insane. And you guys entered my life. That's the creation story. The reversal of that is, oops, sorry about that, guys. What were you thinking? I don't know. Let's get over it. Okay. Oh, and we're home. That's how it's reversed. Is it going to look like that? It's all done one time only in a split second? No. Instead, it's, hi, counselor, more mother issues. And did you know what my husband and my wife did? And it's talking it and breathing it and screaming it. And it's doing what you think you need to do. Because what you're really trying to do in all the workshop seminars, breath work and so on, what you're really trying to do is fix the experience. So when you do all these things, don't think that merely writing that letter to your mother or merely, wearing a specific token of vibrational shifting all that is the experience. It has to go here. If my beliefs don't change, all I'm going to do is move one problem in my experience to another place, right? So it'll be like, oh my God, I met someone new. And you know what? Conveniently, I feel a lot of forgiveness towards my ex. That's only because you have somebody new. As soon as they go, you're going to, that ex of mine, and you'll be back on them again. So many people have come to me, Michael, help me heal my issues with this person that just broke my heart. I'll be like, it isn't them. Yes, it is. They left me yesterday and they hurt me and I'm hurting and wounded. And let's talk about somebody else. And they'll go, how did you know about them? Let's just talk about somebody else. How do you feel about this? Well, they're a jerk, but I don't need them. I like them. No, you don't. They're just a reenactment of them. When you realize that this is a pattern and you'll eventually get to, you're the common denominator. But still, often when you think you're upset about somebody right now, it's really the whole pattern you're upset about. I'm really sad someone died. No, you're not. You're sad about all death. It's just convenient to call it about this person. You know why? Because humans feel like, I don't want to go for big healing. I just want symptomatic healing. That's all. Can I have some more Novocaine? Give me a drink. I don't feel so anxious when I smoke pot or whatever it is. You didn't heal your anxiety when you got high. You didn't. It never worked. And you didn't heal your relationship when you got a new one. Yes, the new one might be a healthier one. If you've done work, it probably is. And you should be giving thanks about the healthy one. But if you make it about them, you're still doing transference. If you're going to have a healthier person and go, wow, they're so much nicer than this one, it's also because you changed. And you should be giving thanks that you changed. Back to the other part here. Knowingness, beliefs, experience. And once we realize the knowingness of God, and again, I'm saying, it's not something you get when you ascend. I'm saying the worst of us still has that. Oh, wait a minute. One thing it's like one benefit from what I just said. I don't have to try so hard. I mean, there is a part of me it's already plugged in. Thank you, God. You don't have to gain God's favor. You don't have to beg or go to the confessional or whatever, although if you do it, that's fine. And go to a counselor and a sponsor and whatever else you do. But just do those things knowing you're already plugged in. Don't try to make your experiences better so that you become holy. Know that you're holy and let it change your experiences. Whew, wow. This is kind of cool. I got to the point where I was eating one slice of an apple a day, so that I could trim up, have an hourglass figure. And by the time I got it, it all started descending based on age. So one minute I was ballooning out and I only ate a slice of an apple a day. Next thing I knew, I trimmed it up and it all just started mudsliding anyway, So it all just kind of, and it's like, so now what? Now what are you going to do? Staple it all up in place so you look holy? No, it's just relax. I am as God created me. And I don't care if your body's up or out or down or around. I'm still holy. Bloody hell, Santa's happy. He and his wife seem to be overweight. And they're happy. Happiness. I want to remember I'm choosing the knowingness of God. Even if I can't see what that looks like, I'm still going to affirm it's there. Oh, thank goodness. Then my work is I need to correct my beliefs. When I thought I was flawed and needed to fix my looks to make myself holy, I am holy already. And now when I brush my hair, I brush it because I feel beautiful, not to become beautiful. See the difference? Because I am beautiful. So it's still worth brushing your hair. Wow. When I say you don't need to do anything, I don't mean literally. It's like I'm in the knowingness of God. My beliefs are getting clear that I'm worthy of love. It's really beautiful. Now my outside experiences should match that. So it's like, I get it. So the outside, I smile more often. It makes sense. And there's three-dimensional things you need to do. You pay your taxes or whatever your third-dimensional experience happens to be. And not just for yourself, but the people around you. I just am so in a state of holiness right now. I don't even need to pick my kids up at school anymore. Yes, you do. And if they're little ones, you might have to change a diaper. And for God's sakes, wear deodorant. You know, because there's others. I'm holy. You don't smell it. So, wear deodorant. Care about the people around you. Not just you, and I'm going to prove, I'm going to let people know. I'm going to go in Whole Foods and shame meat eaters. That's not nice. Your holiness, I don't know, whatever. It's like, and if you don't like what I'm saying, change channels, okay? So, but Jesus himself, and I know this is hard for some people, but he's telling us, if somebody puts food in front of you and you start shaming them for that food, what you're doing is wrong. Even if you don't believe in it, don't make them feel like they've done something wrong. You say you don't like shaming, why do it then? Eat it as though it's your favorite food. Now, the best you can. Okay, the best you can. You don't have to pretend to a point like if you have an allergy to the food, well, I'm just going to go ahead and, I died being nice. It's okay for you to say, you know what, this looks beautiful. I happen to have an allergy and I'm good, Do you have anything that I can eat? I wouldn't even go that far. I personally, no, I'm good. Well, let me get you some, no, really. For me, some bread, that's great. Help everything seem okay as often as you can for people. Help people feel seen and accepted and, loved. No, but, they're trying to focus on the food they should give you and you change it to, no, but I heard you're a teacher. How long have you been a teacher? See, bridge, take it somewhere else instead of focusing on your issues. So again, the knowingness of God, how can I anchor that? How can I draw it down like to this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, high and low, up and down, left and right, forward, backward. I am as God created me, and just learn to be that the best you can be, considering other people too. Yes, be in a holy state, and yes, take care of the third dimensional things. So understand the difference. Knowingness, beliefs, experience. And they go in that order. Experiences really don't change your knowingness. This is something that has been waiting for us since the day we tried to forget that it existed. This is partly what Jesus was trying to say when I have a place waiting for you. He was talking about you don't realize it yet, but your holiness has never gone away. In my Father's house are many mansions, meaning my remembrance, our knowingness, each of us. Many really is one. But my remembrance and knowing, and yours and yours and yours and so on. So that's this, thank God, that cannot go away. Man, I really screwed up today. I got to be a better person. No, I have to remember I'm a better person, and then it'll be easier to fix or work on my issues, where I slip. Slip and try to become more perfect, it's much harder. Then slip, know your perfection, it'll be easier to make those adjustments. It's like you're accessing the master, the God goddess within, and it knows a little more what adjustments need to be made, as does the Spirit of God. So if I keep trying to figure out my flaws and then fix my flaws by my thinking, it's a long road home. When I sit in the knowingness of it, it's quite beautiful. And the last thing I think I'll share is this whole world, everything is changing. And the more we get to this knowing is of the Spirit of God. The beliefs are of the soul. Spirit, soul, body. So, in my experience, as my beliefs, as I start to access my heart and soul, this is also where the collective consciousness is. This is a collection of many. This is a oneness, and there's only one. It splits into many, but it becomes many as one. By the time we reach the lower centers, it's many, period. Here we're separate. Here we're separate, but as one. Here, there's only the oneness. Is that making sense? Okay. So the more we evolve and access our hearts, the more we're starting to see a world that is more fifth dimensional. You don't get the fifth or any higher dimension from human things being done. You don't say, guess what? There's this new candidate for president. As soon as they're elected, we're going fifth dimensional. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Even if they wanted to, and they spoke like that, first, they wouldn't get elected. Secondly, as soon as they get in office, they're going to be told they're not allowed to do it anyway. So don't wait for your partner. If I just meet my soulmate, I'm going to ascend. Ascend and meet one. Isn't it easier? I'll ascend once I'm in that higher consciousness. Oh, look, other fifth dimensional beings. Hey, how you doing? Rather than, listen, you, become fifth dimensional for me. That's hard, man, to try to make other people fifth dimensional. Anyway. Just rolling. So the world is changing. And the more you become heart, the more you start to see expansively, the more you start to feel a magic in the air regularly, the more you start to live in miracle consciousness. I'm not then saying I'm better than everyone else. I'm more into the wow of what I'm experiencing. I'm not comparing it to other people or my own history. Just, wow, I'm just into this. What's happening here? And you start to connect and click. You start to have a dream at night and you go, I know what the dream means. Because your mind is starting to expand. Because you're going to belief systems rather than effects. Effects are generally limited because they're not real. They're just effects. You flash something on a projector screen, it's not real. It's just whatever's been projected. The world is just a projection screen. So it's not the thing that can change me. My beliefs change me and change my life. So in a way, I can say I'll predict one of the things that's going to be happening within 10 years, maybe 20. So you just kind of, hang in there. So as we access our heart, we start to access everything. This is the universal consciousness. This is beyond the universal consciousness. The heart is universal. It's the place of our Akashic records, mine and ours. This is where we have the Aquarian age, a sign of air, and it's the air element in the heart. So as we're moving the next number of years, here is coming the Aquarian age, here. Here comes the heart chakra more, here. That means we're going to be accessing our belief systems more. What else? Everything changes with that. So one of the things is, all of a sudden it's like, I understand the planet. She has minerals. Those are my bones. My bones are her minerals. Her bones are her mineral kingdom. Her veins are rivers. I get it. Oh my God. Her grid lines are my meridians. And then she has acupuncture points. She has chakras, 7 major ones. She has minor chakras all around the planet, like I do. We're the same. So go with that one more step. The universe is my body. This you think is your body. And when you get in touch with this, it's like, wow, I'm really getting touch. Then try to imagine you're the earth and wrap your mind around, I'm not just this body, I'm the earth body. And I'm literally in this symbiotic relationship with the earth. We just forget because we forgot here to believe in that. But then it goes further. The universe is my body. And even that is just a reflection. I'm even greater than the universe, but the universe is my body. So how so? Every planet is like a cell in this body. And then you go further. Little solar systems, what are those? Acupuncture points. Galaxies, chakras. And I start to realize, wait, what? So when I change Michael and I work on my well-being and my meridians start to become healthier, I drop a little into the earth body's meridians and help her grid lines. And as I help raise the vibration of the earth, she's one cell, it's one cell in the universal body. So every change in me is really affecting everything. But it is wheels within wheels. So yes, my little wheel of Michael turns, and it might seem like a very slow turning of a bigger wheel called this whole body. And then this body is a wheel turning a bigger wheel that turns even slower. Maybe let's call it this earth. And then that wheel, solar system, that wheel, galaxy, and that wheel, the universe, just as an example. Now that is kind of cool, but it also sounds like really slow movement of the universe. But it's only slow because that's the way we planned it. We wanted to take our sweet time to not go home too soon. The sooner we get over ourselves and say, no more ego, I'm ready to go home. Even in Hindu traditions, it's the yugas. And we're in this Kali Yuga, which means we're at the worst of the worst now. And we're turning uphill. And the Mayan calendar comes to an end and the Aztec calendar, end meaning it's time for a new cycle, a new beginning. We're going from ages to an Aquarian age. So astrologically, it's confirmed. All these different systems are saying the same thing. You and I are not theoretically, we are literally living in the end of the old ways. And we're heading towards new things. The Druid tradition has the predictions around this. Norse mythology has it. Greek mythology has it. These different ages, the Golden Age, the Bronze Age, everything's changing. And soon enough, even astrology is going to say, wait a minute. As our awareness has done this, wait a minute. You're not just the 12 signs. It's going to be the planets within the 12 signs and then the 12 signs within the universe. And astrologers then will not just tell you about the little Michael and his lifetime and the astrology layout of his. They're going to say your soul's experience through this galaxy and that dimension and this planet and so on. Boom! It's called awareness. It all goes to a new level. When? Well, when I find my soulmate and they make it that way. God is, I am, we are. The knowingness of that. That's not a prayer and hope, like, I hope God is, it's a fact. Thank God. See, that's a fact. It's a fact. It's a truth. Thank God that God is. Not I hope that. Thank God that God is, never can change. I am, cannot change. We are, cannot change. Yet I do know that we act like crazy people. I'm aware that we do, but I'm affirming the truth of God despite what we do to ourselves and each other. And the more I know the truth of God and let that descend down to my human experience, the more I'm going to be able to change that experience. You see? Don't wish for the experience to change you and your belief systems, and the experience changes. How do I do that? Well, a couple different ways, but primarily forgiveness. What do I need to forgive? You mean my ex? No, I'm talking about forgiving everything. Forgive that you even think you have an experience that isn't holy yet. Forgive that you think you're separate. Forgive that you forgot the knowingness of who you are and what God is and that we are. Well, I didn't forget that. Yes, you did. Now you're in denial. Forgive yourself for denial. No, I don't believe that we separate. I don't believe this and that. Really? Boom, on your foot. Ow! How could your holiness feel pain? Come on. No, it's just own that there's a bit of a problem, but the good news is it's not real. It has no real power over us. It's just a sad nightmare that we created believing that we could be limited beings. The good news is we're on our way home. The better news is the learning curve can, instead of thousands of years and millions of years remaining, it can be tightened up. Jesus says in A Course in Miracles, well, when do we get to go home, Jesus? Well, in all fairness, if you've been leaving for 100 million years, technically, at the point where you start to come home, you have 100 million years back. And it's like, dude, you're so depressing. And Jesus says, however, the good news is time's an illusion. So it can look like 100 million to your weakest, lowest point on the human, experience. And now you're on your way up. 100 million, it still measures 100 million back. 100 million out, 100 million back. Okay. He says, but time's an illusion. So it can go like this. 100 million down, a day back. And the day is every present moment that we decide to believe in something different. Changing the beliefs, healing the beliefs. And it's a gentle, sometimes intense choice. But often, please practice it as a gentle experience. Almost like, oh, thank God I can just choose. Instead of, what do I have to fix? That intensity. Whew, man. It's all right. I am as God created me. Watch the difference. Watch the difference. I am as God created me. Mommy, would you read us a story before bed? Yes. Yes. Learn to say yes more often. Yes, honey, I'll do. Instead of, no, I don't know where your books are, and I stop and just make one up. God, guide me and help me channel a story for the kids tonight. Relax. And you sit down and food, okay. Instead of, oh, geez, this is terrible, this toxic waste foods. The planet no longer has real minerals in its soil anymore. But Lord Jesus, you just made it like hell. Just stop. Isn't this funny? Look at this food. I actually have opinions about this food. I think that food is more holy. That food is toxic. But you know what? I'm going to let go of my beliefs today. God, you show me what this food is about. And you don't think that nutrition would be absolutely overflowing in every particle of that if you called upon it? God's presence in that food? Absolutely. So you see it, shine light. And when you see people doing this at your dinners, with your new age people, don't tell them, oh, you still do that. I just bring in the holiness of God. Don't shame people. Just know I'm changing the way I do things. I don't look at screwed up clients as a counselor and say, oh, this is a tough one. All I know is I hear all the stuff, I feel for you, and we're going somewhere. My focus is home, me, any of us. You're talking to your children, oh, generation gap, there's no such thing. Honey, how can I help today? Take them home in your own way, shape, and form. You see? Be the presence of God in your experience and in the experience of everyone else. You don't seem to act or speak holier. You don't tell people, I have a new religion, it's that I'm holy. Be covert. When you enter and exit a room, it really should be more often people scratching their head going, why do I feel different? Instead of, well, you feel different because I was in the room. People should feel miraculous shifts just by divine presence. Wouldn't they? If an angel appeared, or Christ appeared, Mother Mary appeared, God appeared, wouldn't they feel a change? Well, why aren't we that thing? Let's just be that thing. And it doesn't have to be overt. It's beautiful that just your presence is enough to make that change, to create that shift. If you believe in frequencies and you brought in a certain musical note of your vibe, a certain keynote in your soul, if you brought in a certain vibration and it's subtle even, how could it not have changed the musical tone of the whole room? Quietly being that tone is enough. Please take a few centering breaths. Bear's going to share some background flute music as we share a brief meditation. Centering, centering, centering. Breathing in, I am, quietly in your mind as you exhale the word relaxed or the words at peace. I am like a gentle tide at peace, nice and slow. I am at peace over and over, or I am relaxed. You're not just calling for this, you're affirming that it's true. And for the folks online, this is our brother Bear who's playing the music for you. Set aside everything. People pray and meditate to go to God, which is good. But for the next few minutes, let's imagine God is coming to us. Instead of doing and doing to become holy, for a moment this time, let's stop. The sound of God as the notes of the flute are playing into us and through us. We're all hearing the same notes. Therefore, the notes are unifying us. I need do nothing. It plays through your crown, unwinding the third eye, the throat center, and that is the I am presence of God. And I invite that into my heart. To my solar plexus. To my navel center. And the root center. And then aligning all 7 centers through the body. And the beautiful music and tone of the 7 are calling out to the minor chakras. They all dance in unison. The meridians begin to activate. Bringing chi and nutrients to the organs and glands. Every cell of bone and blood shining, glowing. I am alive. I am awake. And I am one with everyone else. God is, I am, we are. And the whole universe reflects this. breathe in this magnificence. And I give thanks that this is so and can never change. So it is. Very gently reintegrate into the room, but very gently take your time. So beautiful. Gradually reintegrating. And remember, I always say, don't leave your meditation and come back to your body. Bring the meditation with you. Bring this, wow, with you. And as you stir about and we do donations and we go drive home to, don't leave the meditation, take it with you to those things. Don't let the activities take you out of the meditation. Let it be integrated and breathed into who you are. Let it permanently affect your heart. That's a choice we can make. So thank you. So we tune in to gratitude for a moment. Just the wow factor of what we experienced today with each other, the presence of God, the reminders of our holiness. Deep gratitude. Never wanting to forget that. And as we know that, we can then affirm. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we go, God is, I am, we are, and so it is. That's not wishful thinking. You're affirming a fact, the truth of God. That God is, I am, we are, and so it is. Just simply perfect, beautiful. Thank you guys so much for your time and your sharing. So God bless you online as well, folks. God bless. Thank you so much. And peace be with all of you. Bye-bye.